Welcome to Besiege Bots, the real home of robotic combat in Besiege. In this episode of the Heavyweight Havoc, we continue the preliminary round matches. Scarab, a grappling robot, needs to prove itself in a rumble against Humper Bumper and Phantom. We also have Psychania vs Accretion Disc. Accretion Disc had poor luck in its fight against Hacapolita, while Psychania lucked out and watched its opponents explode in his rumble. Which side will Lady Luck choose? There's also the wrestling match of the entire roster. Huge Parasite and Siamese Swan face off while they try to wrestle each other into the hazards. All of that and more on this episode of Besiege Bots. Let's get right into it. And so we unveil the final bot of the roster, Scarab, from the United States, built by Team Nightslash with a leaderable rank of 57. There's an overhead drill that doubles as a plow lifter, and also has grappling arms powered by 4 steering hinges at ×2 speed. It has a very sturdy plow assembly, but frail arm mounts and wheel guards that can hinder control are weak. Humper Bumper is 1-0 right now after a definitive win against Black Blizzard. Let's see how he measures up to the other competitor, which is Phantom. After a 11-second pit KO loss, Phantom really needs to pick up a win here to start making sense. And off we go. Phantom immediately starts targeting Scarab. Scarab too slow, so Humper Bumper comes in. Humper Bumper trying to go around the air pit, still focusing Phantom by the looks of things, yes. Wants to get that Spinner Killer plow set up into Phantom's face so that he can maybe make it explode. Ooh, Scarab with a good clamp here, scoring control. Phantom doesn't want to spin up near the walls because that might explode. Gets out of there, spins up again, Humper coming in. Gets hit, no real damage, pit gets opened by Humper. Scarab slowly approaching as well. Phantom turning around to face Humper Bumper. Scarab still on the offensive here. Definitely scoring good aggression, going against the spinner, which is quite hazardous. Scarab still chasing after Humper Bumper and Phantom. Phantom almost gets pit. Humper doesn't quite have the pushing power to make it stick. Phantom spinning all over, being very risky near that bouncing plate. Still hasn't exploded. Very lucky. Humper Bumper comes in with a good push. Oh, and Phantom beheads Scarab. Phantom is trying to get out of here. Humper is stuck on Scarab. Scarab with the control again, putting Phantom into the wall. Phantom doesn't want to spin up. Oh, falls over. Phantom should have a Shremek hidden behind that plow armor though. Scarab being aggressive towards Humper Bumper, trying to position. Phantom comes back into view, goes flying off the bouncing plate right into Scarab, and Humper with a great push there makes Phantom explode as he now tries to lift up Scarab, does so successfully, puts him on the air pit, almost flips it over, not quite, now carrying it around as a hat. It appears that Phantom in the meantime has been KO'd by Humper Bumper by running it into a wall. Very good driving from Institution of Insanity here. Oh, high-centered on a piece of Phantom. Scarab seizes the opportunity. Humper gets out though, gets under, goes for the flip, and there it is. Without the drill mount, Scarab cannot self-right, so it should be getting counted out for immobility here, trying to get up with what is left of those steering hinges. But that is not going to happen. Humper celebrates, and that is going to be the match. Humper Bumper with, again, a very definitive double KO win in his rumble. Moving on at 2-0, while Scarab is at 0-1, and Phantom at 0-2. And so we move on to match 2 with Mr. Slippy's Wild Ride, with a very good pit and KO win against the Lukey twins. It now stares down against Royal Seal, which won its first rumble against Radiant Storm and Siamese Swan. Let's see how both of these robots get on. And off we go, match 2. Mr. Slippy spins up. Royal Seal with the clamp down, trying to make it bounce off, maybe. Using it as a sort of deflective. Yes, that does appear to be what it's doing. Aiming in. Or trying to bait Mr. Slippy into the pit. Almost made it work there. Mr. Slippy braked in time though, did not get lured in. Mr. Slippy moving in again, scoring some damage there, ripping half of the wheel pods off of Royal Seal. That's not good for Royal Seal, because that drive pod housed one of its steering gyros. A plow goes flying across the arena, as the signs of damage starting to show up now. There goes a wheel and a flying block. There goes another little white thing. I couldn't really tell what that was. Probably one of the lifters. I think that was the wheel pod that it had already broken off that went flying there. Mr. Slippy with another good hit. Royal Seal moving in. Slippy turns the spin direction, and that breaks the last remaining gyro off of Royal Seal. That means that Royal Seal can no longer turn, and that is part of what is defined as mobility. So Mr. Slippy wins by KO. Mr. Slippy moving on at 2-0, while Royal Seal has to take its first loss at 1-1. And so we move on to Accretion Disc. Last time it lost to Hackapalooza by some poor luck with its weapon simply falling out the chassis. It now faces Sychania, our next competitor from Team Linnaeus. It won its Rumble by pure luck. Let's see if it can do the same against Accretion. And off we go. Accretion spins up. Sychania wobbles around, moving towards. Starting to spin up now. Doesn't get a hit in. Kind of deflects Accretion Disc. Gets another decent hit there on the side of Accretion. Accretion coming in with a big hit there. That suspension came out of Accretion Disc and not Sychania. Sychania wobbling around. Gets a hit there. First one deflects up into the bar of Accretion. The second one knocks Accretion Disc a bit away. Knocks it away again. Knocks it away again. Sychania is kind of scoring control with these hits. Oh, there's a good hit from Sychania. Throwing it onto the bouncing plate. Oh, Accretion Disc falls over. Oh, collects himself very crisply there. Spins up the blade just enough to make sure that he landed on his wheels there. Sychania spinning up again, getting hit. Oh, Bennett getting thrown by Accretion Disc. You gotta remember, Sychania is a walker, so it is 60 blocks over the regular 100 block weight limit for heavyweights. So that is a very impressive throw from Accretion Disc. Another good hit from Accretion there. Accretion definitely staying the most aggressive. Both bots recoil violently. Accretion trying to not hit that pit button. Doesn't want to have that open. That's risky for it. Spins up, gets into position to face Sychania. Spins it up again. Sychania with a minor hit there. Accretion moving in. Sychania with another hit, but deflects pretty far. Angrily wobbling towards Accretion Disc. Accretion Disc kind of gets a hit, but also gets thrown backwards. Accretion coming in. Another good shot from Accretion Disc there. Sychania needs to get up. Oh! And that is a lot of purple braces, and it appears that Sychania has gone Uta because it is not coming down. That means Accretion Disc, all it has to do to win now is get back up. It needs to get that self-right in soon. I think the countdown might be starting now. He really has to get it moving here, otherwise he might not win this and it might be a double KO. There's the self-right, and that means that Accretion Disc wins by KO, by Uta KO. That is a good way to come back, Utaing a walker. Accretion Disc is at 1-1, and so is Sychania, but Accretion wins this one. And here's the wrestling match. Huge Parasite at 1-0 after clearly defeating Blitz with a loss of control in its hands. Now stares down against Siamese Swan, which is 0-1 after getting pitted by Radiant Storm in its Rumble. Who will take this one? And off we go, both bots going in towards the center of the arena, but Siamese Swan is so low that it gets stuck on the floor. That is not a good sign. Siamese trying to push, gets put on top of Parasite. Parasite with the control here, throws it against the wall. Oh, Siamese Swan gets stuck on its own wing, and is also stuck on the rotating plate. That's a bad place to be. Gets thrown around by the rotating plate. Siamese needs to start moving soon. It's really stuck on that wing. Lifts up its neck to try and get it out of there. So, Parasite either helping or trying to keep it down, but Siamese Swan is mobile again. The wing has fallen out. The fight can continue. Parasite trying to get around to the side of those plows so that it can lift it from the back to get that momentum. Right now it's kind of just a wedge push war because both of them are trying to get under each other. Siamese Swan with a definitive lack of pushing power here. I forgot to point it out at the start of this match, but this is recorded by the same person who recorded the other one with the strange filter on it. This has been sorted out for future fights, I do believe, so no problem there. Huge Parasite there with a good clamp. Siamese Swan trying to get out, trying to reverse, but gets put into the spike strip instead. Still reversing, now floors it in forward. Gets out, needs to get out of there. Needs to get around to the side or like somehow underneath Humpa Bumpa. There's a good clamp from Siamese, lifting up Parasite, even though Parasite is the one with the actual clamp. It's Siamese Swan here with the control. Now it's back in Huge Parasite's hands. Siamese Swan gives him a hug. Both clamp bots giving each other moral support in the middle of the arena. Siamese Swan is done hugging, as is Parasite. Parasite with a nice little thwack action there from its lower arm. Both bots trying to get underneath each other again, trying to wobble those plows against each other, because eventually one plow will be lifted by that Parasite trying to get around to the side of Siamese still. He gets around to the side of the plows, he can lift it from the back, there it is. Siamese stuck on Parasite again, Parasite chasing. Oh, Siamese Swan with a clamp there. Parasite closes and gets him out of there. There was some minor momentum for the Swan here. Again, they try to get under each other so desperately as Siamese puts itself into the pit button to open it. Trying to get around to the side. Parasite almost drives itself into the pit. That is not good positioning. Ooh, Siamese with some poor positioning there. Gets out though. Ooh, Parasite with a good push there. Siamese goes over the bouncing plate, turns in place. Again, trying to get under each other with those wedges. Oh, Parasite briefly got lifted by Siamese there, but no action was taken. Siamese trying to climb over the top of Parasite almost makes it work. Humpa was another fight, I'm sorry. Parasite. Oh, there is Siamese with the clamp. Parasite lets go though. Siamese with another clamp. Taking Huge Parasite somewhere. Trying to score some control. That Swan head is stuck in there deep. Siamese with the momentum here. Lifting Huge Parasite. Putting him into the pit. And that is quite the comeback. Because Huge Parasite until that point was definitely more in control. But Siamese wins by pick KO. Equals out its score, and Huge Parasite takes its first loss. And for our next match, we have Pickle Prick. It lost its first match in quite sad fashion to Wolf Boy, but it now faces the tables have turned. They lost their match against Axe Maniac. Can they turn the tides? And so we begin, the tables spread out, trying to stay away from that big old beefy bar spinner from Pickle Prick. Pickle Prick gets lifted there, throws one of the tables and damages the other. Ooh, big damage sustained by the tables already. The off-screen table coming back in, gets right underneath Pickle Prick there with a good push. The other table joins in, pushing him towards the pit. One of the tables appears to have already died. Yes, it lost both of its wheels on one side. It is no longer mobile. The table's with a really good push here, though. Pickle Prick trying to get out, but no! a win very similar to how they beat Dropshot in their very first match. Tables win by pick KO, move on to 2-1, while Pickle Prick is 0-2. And for the last match of tonight, we have Megaminer, currently 1-0, after hitting Power of Reading on the back of the book. Got its first KO win. It now faces Riot, who lost a somewhat controversial decision to the Inimitable Bulk. Let's see if Riot can come back from this. And off we go. Riot and Megaminer moving into the center of the arena. Oh, a good hit from Megaminer there, getting stuck in that frail plow of Riot. Riot does not want to be here. This is horrible news for it. That frail lift is taking a lot of abuse here. Oh, and Megaminer just rips it out. That is a vicious attack, throws it into the wall. Megaminer with the very clear momentum right now. Gets another good hit there, does a perfect front flip. Megaminer's very good at that stylish driving and landing on his feet. Doesn't really show it there, but normally he's very good at this. There we go, look at that, a perfect hit. Does a front flip and lands it perfectly. Megaminer has excellent control. Riot staying aggressive, but not really being able to do much with that aggression as Megaminer is just scoring hit after hit after hit. Whiffs it there, though. Trying to get Riot into the center of those plows. That's where he wants it. That's when he knows he can drop the hammer on it. Misses again, hits the bouncing plate instead. Needs to get off of there to try and get a stable shot in. There's another, a minor hit. That's a pun. Riot staying very aggressive, though. Facing, trying to bait Megaminer near the pit, it seems, because why else would he tempt him to stay that close? Strange strategy from Riot there, though I suppose it is his best way of winning it from here on out. Megaminer whiffs it again, gets a good hit there, does that front flip, pick goes right back into position. Another good hit there, doesn't quite land the landing, yes, that's what I was going to say, that's a good English. Anyway, Riot almost pushes Megaminer into the pit there. Megaminer needs to get out of there. You don't want to be balancing around the pit as a hammer bot. That's always bad. Riot staying aggressive, getting under Megaminer, but that doesn't really matter because Megaminer can choose whenever it goes flying because of the strong hammer inside of there. I do believe there is a Megaminer sign being made in the background. A Riot sign has popped up. Yay Sports, as always, very important. Riot staying in front of Megaminer. I would think he would try to get to the side and not the front, because Megaminer is just scoring hit after hit, so it's going to be scoring a lot of aggression here because of that. I suppose Riot is scoring aggression by staying close, but not much more than that. Oh, a whiff from Megaminer there. Riot trying to get him onto the rotating plate. There we go. Megaminer gets another decent hit in there. Megaminer whiffs it, lands on top of Riot, flips Riot. Riot can get back up, has a self-right gyro. Riot keeps facing Megaminer face first. I don't know how good an idea that is. Riot has the clear control in this situation, though, putting him into the wall despite not having a functioning weapon anymore. Definitely scoring good points here. Something came off of Megaminer. Megaminer almost gets pitted, but Riot falls in instead, and Megaminer dodges fate and wins by pick KO because Riot went too fast. That puts Megaminer at 2-0 and Riot at 0-2. And that's it for episode 4. Humper Bumper, Mr. Slippy's Wild Ride, and Megaminer move on to the next fights at a solid 2-0. While not far behind are the tables have turned with their latest victory against Pickle Prick, putting them at 2-1. Accretion Disc and Siamese Swan tie up their scores to 1-1 after their first wins. Royal Seal, Sychania, and Huge Parasite have to take their first losses, putting them at 1-1 as well. Scarab loses its first Rumble after an impressive first performance, and is stuck at 0-1 for now. Phantom, Pickle Prick, and Riot have yet to score those all-important wins, unfortunately, putting them all at 0-2. We sincerely hope you enjoyed this episode. If you would like to get in on future tournaments, or just generally competing against other Besiege Bots, be sure to check the description for our Discord link. From everyone in the Besiege Bots Discord, have a fantastic day, and we'll see you soon.